are live, and only two people means we don't have a need for a Busta Rhymes fisheye lens. Grabbing some headphones from over here, and I'll put Caesar up right here because this mic is distracting. Hi everybody, we are 14 seconds into our file, getting ready for our commentary for Planet of the Apes, one of my favorite movies of all time. Oh, I got to shut this mic off. There, how's that sound, everybody? I don't see anybody in here except for one, but it might be just Dave. I have my awful little best biker gang Bobby knot for you Don Rampa fans. I'm going to keep talking. Assume you guys are with me. We are watching the original 1968 Planet of the Apes, a fucking, to me, an incredible film and a terribly important moment in sci-fi that we often forget. This is the studio Fox before they had Star Wars. It was just a glimmer of their eye. Had no idea what the licensing potential was. Had no idea what sequel potential was. Still hoping to get more people in before I gab any further. So still talking. We are 14 seconds into our file where I need you guys to be stopped. Is right after the Fox logo and the fanfare. Da, 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 soon as the screen goes black. I need you paused on a black screen right goddamn now. If you see stars, you've gone too far. Scroll it back. I don't care if it is a VHS. Rewind that shit and bring it back here. We are gonna make America ape make America ape again. Still hard to say. Uh-oh. We have two viewers. I have Dave. I have my doubts. I think this is going to be the lowest turnout we've ever had.
I remember we did Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. That's probably going to be.
What, was that bad?
No, I'm just saying. Like in terms of interest, I think there are way less interesting movies than this that we've done before. Yeah,
well, but that's the thing. There's people interested in the Power Rangers franchise, so hopefully people are willing to see how the Planet of the Apes series started, especially if they've caught the last the three recent ones, which have been amazing. And I have to imagine, I don't want to spoil anything, but that movie was really fucking cool to me because some of us have been dying to know how this series started out, and you got to see that with War of the Planet of the Apes just a little bit. It could be something else. I have a video later discussing the timeline, but I'm very happy to show you guys. I will give you all the trivia I can. I will try and tell you established dates. There's a really fun thing that happens with a date very early on. Again, like right when the movie starts, it hits you with a date. The next movie immediately forgets. The continuity is ruined immediately. Oh,
okay.
Yay! We got some folks in here. I'm so happy people bothered to show up.
Crowley, Red Baron, Caleb,
Gray Babe from Caleb. Glad you guys joined us. Hi everybody. I'll be honest, this is the only Apes movie I like because of Heston, says Red Baron. He is...
I'm in the second movie too, damn it!
He is... he is in the second movie. I would have... And again, we let you guys vote. I would have been happy with anyone. I think you even expressed interest in seeing, like, Escape or
Escape.
Conquest. And Conquest is really fun, too, because it is so...
Is the one where they go on, like, The Tonight Show?
The third one. It's the most bizarre one. But hopefully... I'll have a movie up showing you guys a little more of that on our YouTube
Chris
channel.
Chris is wearing his racist shirt.
It's not racist. I don't think. I also got to Phil the guy. What up, brother? You better be happy with our show. We got movie sign. What up, Matt J? Thanks. Thank you guys so much. So we're gonna give people about 3 more minutes to get in here. Dave, when was the last time you saw this?
When you stole that shirt from the movie theater.
Duh. We talked about it on this very show. Had you ever seen it before that?
Yeah, like once, and it was, I barely remembered it, but like getting to see it in a theater was really cool, and embedded it a lot more in my brain.
Yeah.
It was like one of those movies that like started at 10 o'clock, which is usually like nighttime for me, like, it's time for Dave to go fall asleep if I'm seeing a movie that late, but I was like engrossed.
Wow, hold on, that little detail Andrew Roebuck just brought up. This is momentous. I'm reuniting Chris's DVD Planet of the Apes box set with him. Wow, when I was, we had, I think, a contest at Games Radar when my desk got too dirty. That we gave away everything on my desk, and that included a standard definition Planet of the Apes box set that I had because I got the Blu-rays. So I sent it to somebody when we were doing Games Radar, and I think it was Andrew. He got my copy, and he's watching my DVD that I sent him years ago. And this is the infamous shirt from the Hillary campaign. They did not like it at all. In fact, it probably holds up just as bad. How about a new...
I wore this to the Bernie campaign. They're like, "Hey, where'd you get this picture?"
Where'd you? I hope people are excited to see it. It not only is in my opinion, really good, really fun. It's an old movie with a lot of like pauses that'll it'll be infinite fun to make fun of. So do not be afraid of offending me. Chime in if you want to talk silly about this
Willie
film.
Fresh said, "Can I play the piano anymore?"
I don't know. He couldn't before. I almost had it.
And I will say, I am still wearing something themed.
What?
Setting of the movie, technically, sort of.
We don't. I wonder if we know that, because in hindsight, when I look at, I didn't live in California when I saw this, but it is the most California set I've ever fucking seen in my whole life. So maybe no, I don't want to ruin anything. That's the thing about it. I'm wearing a fucking spoiler about this. So we're gonna get started in about 2 minutes. But what I really want to impress upon you, you will get the most fun out of this if you pretend you don't know the ending.
Yeah.
And try and imagine what the world looked like when they came out of the theater and saw this. Oh yeah,
I've been trying to watch the second movie on our movie server thing, whatever.
Broken.
And yeah, it was not working, and I kept like slowly loading, and I'm like, why are they spending 20 minutes of this movie like the reveal again of Apes to this new guy? Who cares?
It's solely because Charlton Heston wouldn't come back.
But it's like, why make it like the reveal is a shocking thing?
It doesn't make a lot of sense, but you still need that like human being audience surrogate who's coming from the present, which even then, for some reason, only this and like Big Lebowski do I know of, where they set a movie 3 years in the future. The original Planet of the Apes, right now, people, we are in 1972, regardless of the 1978 release date. That's how far off they projected being to travel at light speed through the planets and discover new planets.
Kennedy says, I'm less interested since there isn't a Paul Giamatti in this movie.
I can do Paul Giamatti as good as I can.
Goddamn fucking humans.
I'll try and keep it up. Our camera's shaking. We got to be careful at the table, David. It'll look like a fucking earthquake.
Mark Wahlberg's ruining all my shit.
Well, all right, people. Here's where we are in the film. We are 14 seconds in. You see that? You see that right there? 14 seconds into our film, but we are paused right after the 20th Century Fox fanfare and in between, like, glistening stars. A total black screen. That's where you should be paused right now.
Get your pause button off me, you damn dirty ape.
It's such a terrible Giamatti impression. It's like either stolen from James Adomian or it's just him getting mad in private parts. You goddamn motherfuckers. You are the motherfucking Antichrist. Oh, my copy has Mark Wahlberg on the cast list. Did I do bad? He did bad. John Wilkes did bad. I want a furious commentary for Tim Burton's Apes. We already did that, Willie. Long time ago in our hate pack. So, all right, people. It's the time to go because it's a 2-hour film. We got to do this. Because the movie ends super abruptly. I don't want to talk any more about the ending. Anybody who talks about the ending of the film gets banned. We don't want no spoilers here, even though I'm wearing it on my shirt. Again, 14 seconds into our file. You need to be paused right after the 20th Century Fox fanfare, in between the opening. Black screen. Get ready, because here we go. On the count of 1, unpause your film. 3, 2, 1, unpause. Now we have some stars. Now we have some stars. Yes. Can you hear okay, Dave? Do I need to turn it up?
Yeah, I hear. Do we have captiones?
No. Oh, no. No, we do not. Angry though. I think the Tim Burton commentary is missing in action. No, it was exclusive. Oh, look, so it's 2673.
Ah.
That's the date he's establishing he's in right now. Charlton Heston knows this. 700 years, but it's only felt like 18 months. They've aged like 6 months.
You can tell how much time has passed because my cigar is small.
I can't remember. Is there some G-rated nudity, is it John Wiggles? Yes. You'll kind of see dong. So I love this. He hates humanity. Yeah. And you want to know some extended fiction shit, Dave? Is that too boring?
Yeah.
Notice his patch is ANSA. It's ANSA because in the extended fiction, NASA wasn't clandestine enough to keep away from Russian spies. So ANSA was a new division, a new secret division of ANSA. And the person who sends them hurtling into the future is the villain of the third movie that you wanted to see. What? I feel small.
Andrew Roebuck says, we're in a compressed tube going through space. Better light up the cigar.
Oh, and if you want to know how low budget some of the films got after this, because this was a pretty high-profile film, the chair Charlton Heston is sitting in will be used in almost every other movie.
Wow.
In governors' offices, on in court trials.
Then the editor sat in it while he was doing that.
And this is what I like to call a good Charlton Heston. When you read Charlton Heston stories, you hear of a very fun, dare I say, liberal man whose post-life ended up defining him a little more than his character here. He was one of the biggest stars on the planet. Landon died. 2 cohorts. That's some 70s looking future. It needed is.
Looked like Bond in that second one.
Look at those lens flares drive by.
And this one, I get to fuck.
He literally says something to that effect later on. It is pretty incredible. So can we talk about how great the Star Trek comic series that ties in with this is? I hope so, Andrew Roebuck. It doesn't tie in. What's so great about it is that Charlton Heston is such an asshole in that comic that he fights Kirk. Off-brand Sean Connery, says John Wheelgoose.
Glad I bought all these Google beds.
I know way too much now about Planet of the Apes side fiction, so please ask me anything.
Matt J says, a black astronaut. What a future.
Ooh, and this is one of my favorite soundtracks ever. Jerry Goldsmith, who also did the soundtrack for the Star Trek movie. Don the Lux is Willie Fresh. Just checked IMDb. Definitely have never seen him in anything
Charlton
before.
Heston. It's the first time J.G.B. Sterling's seen Charlton Heston.
I mean, but you have to be aware of like Ben-Hur and the greatest story ever told. He's Moses, god damn it. Dude, yeah, totally. Charlton Heston's fake cameo in Windy City Heat. God, just carrying guns, speaking with his like whole chin forward. James Daly. Now, where's our ape cast at? Linda Harrison is Nova. Linda Harrison is the she won the part with a great audition by fucking the fucking the head of the studio, Dick Zanuck. And yeah, I believe if you've seen the new films, you might have noticed the credits. Oh wait, very small role in True Lies, says John Williams. Yes, and that's makeup by John Chambers. And I've mentioned him before. I remember in 2010 we talked about the movie FX, where a Hollywood effects guy is courted by the FBI to fake a murder so they could protect a witness. That is based on the work of John Chambers. John Chambers is the guy that John Goodman played in Argo. He was part of a government role. He did makeup. He made fake cadavers as acts of deception. My favorite thing about John Chambers, other than he also made Spock's ears, he is, by all reports I read, he is the person in the Bigfoot suit.
Oh wow!
That is according to legend, that is a Lost in Space suit that he added new physics for, and they totally faked that to see if they could get away with it.
Written by Rod Sterling.
Rod Sterling.
My Rod Sterling's impression is the same as my Charlton Heston.
It blew my mind for somebody to call this the longest Twilight Zone episode ever, and it is. And another little bit of trivia. This is 20th Century Fox. Right at the same time, they were filming a little series we just honored, Adam West's Batman. The sound you're about to hear is the sound of the Adam West Batmobile that they reused for this purpose. And you can totally recognize it if you look for it. Laser Blast Roddy McDowell is also in this. Wait, where's the Batman sound effect? You totally hear it. Good old Lake Powell, says Flaming Cocktail.
Whoa! Oh shit.
And they land in a lake. So again, shut up if you know what goes on. But they knew they were traveling way out in the future to repopulate the stars. That was their mission, as best I can tell. They knew they were going. I don't know how they thought they were going to get back.
Yeah, and where did they think they were going to land? Like, isn't the water landing the best case scenario?
I'm not kidding. In the extended fiction, remember how I told you the next movie ends with, or the third movie, with the 3 apes who get out? Okay. It is alleged that they collided with the ship as they were leaving this planet. It doesn't make sense, but it's one of the things people talk about. That is Vincent in Black Hole, Roddy McDowell. Roddy McDowell, a former child star, who Diana brings us up on occasion, was in a movie called How Green Was My Valley. I think that was his debut film. That film won the Oscar in 1942 to beat Citizen Kane. Roddy McDowell.
I'm Sean Connery, but with a W.
Yeah. This is how you do a Charlton Heston impression. Show your teeth all the time.
My beard sucks.
Planet of the Apes would be a great parody if vaping hadn't been regulated out of existence.
Honey, we want to see your beard now.
This is great. Air leak. Boom. So you need to notice this for the timeline to make any sense. Look at that shot, though. How cool is that? I assure you, awkward loser, Roddy McDowell fathered no children and had sex with no women. So if you watch what he does here, this is something I didn't notice until like the 8th time I saw it. Because the second movie, you think is a flawed premise.
Yeah.
But even if we don't understand how you can send a signal back from the past with light-speed travel, get out a signal. So the Earth signal was sent, and that will set up the second film. Don't you just want to crawl around like industrial 60s, 70s shit now? Perfectly labeled, clear buttons. More Planet of the Apes extended fiction where we find out Darth Aper is Caesar's father's brother's cousin's former roommate. But it's nice without a bunch. Like, there's something that effectively makes it all alien. And there's a moment right here in the beginning, Dave, that I think is going to blow your mind since you've seen War of the Planet of the Apes. War of the Planet of the Apes has some very light nods to this film, one of which was really special.
Concanon D says, Earth, send us your best non-union Heston equivalent for the next movie.
They did. He literally looks just like Heston. He has the same haircut, the same build. But it's part of the fun of that cycle is I can't think of another movie series like it in the modern day that like each movie was this is the last one.
Man, they really use their chairs again. They're getting soaked. Why does this chair stink so much?
Look how cool this practical effect is.
Really Fresh says, I'm glad the new movies weren't directed by J.J. Abrams.
Oh, thank goshness. 3978. That is the year we are now in. So what these astronauts know, the surviving members of the Liberty 1, or Icarus, they are on an alien planet in 3978. I can't reinforce that enough. This is not where they release the whales to talk to the probe, John Wheel goes. That wouldn't happen yet. Clearly haven't read the Primate Directive. Let me just check something real fast. Woohoo!
So these are supposed to be like really great specimens of Earthlings, and none of them can dive.
They are. I've read too much of the extended fiction. Both of Landon and Dodge have been, unlike Heston, have been on a bunch of other missions at this point. You can't tell because they do nothing effective, but they've been on a bunch of successful missions and were chosen to do this for a reason. Going... Look how cool that shot... Sorry, I love the idea of dunking a giant ship into the water and just flying a helicopter over it. Marco Coletta has... Oh, no, Stacey Pro hasn't seen War yet, so we're going to try and veer away from War spoilers. But we probably might react. Huh.
We just may.
But I love his character arc. He is happy to be away from Earth. He hates everything about current society. Knew where he was going. Didn't want to go back. Doesn't give a shit. Hates humanity.
Howard Loser says they can't dive, Dave. This is Planet of the Apes, not Ring of Honor.
Marco Coletta, did they ever bother to check if there's air? They totally did, actually. Look how cool. I don't know. I love that fucking shot. He did. He did right when they crashed.
but also it's like we're fucking gonna drown. So
Yes.
what's the choice there? Matthew J says, is not Heston wearing a fake beard?
Landon.
I mean, did they really? Oh, I guess they could have filmed. They probably filmed those last. Them in the tubes.
It's like when I don't know. I love when you like look into like this movie you've loved your whole life and like this was shot in 6 weeks, so it's probably a fake beard. It looks much more complicated than it is, but I love how alien they can still make all this shit.
Yeah.
And they're just in California. Yes, Donnie, my shirt is spoiling the movie.
But
Try to ignore
it's
it.
kind of amazing that in America there's spots of land where both here and miles away in the horizon there's nothing. Like there's no this would be ruined if just some guy was out with his horse.
Some guy just casting a fly fish line. Did I miss the explanation of what the trip was for? Are they supposed to be colonizing or exploring or what? Heston doesn't really explain that, but what he does drop a name here.
Yeah, I do want these backpacks.
It was
They're pretty
supposed to
fucking
be
awesome.
to visit and possibly populate the stars. I believe they were briefed. You're going to go visit all this shit, and you might not come back. You might not come back. That's why we're sending you all up there with a woman. And he's going to tell you how long they've been away. What up, D. Siculus?
Your beard sucks.
Hasline. Hasline is the villain of the third film because they arrive 1 year after the arrival, the launch of the Liberty One / Icarus, and that's great because they obviously didn't have plans for a sequel, and I didn't notice for years that like he mentions the name of the villain of the third movie.
So fishes, were they all gonna bang that woman like a giant space gangbang? I do remember he does say something to that effect.
He does.
But when does it happen?
He will.
I'm
He'll
waiting
say
for
it.
him to say it, and I don't know when it is.
I'll tell you when.
Okay, good.
It's not gay if we're in space, is Andrew Roebuck. D. Siculus was down at USF all day. Glad to be watching Planet of the Apes. One of my favorites since I was a little girl. So love hearing that because no one showed me this movie. I found this movie and I thought it was really cool. Chris, you do know this movie is unspoilable. It's like spoiling The Empire Strikes Back. Yes, I know that. But I love the idea of thinking like
Miniature American flags for all.
Now he says something regarding she was to be Eve to our Adam with our hot and eager love.
Gun Kennedy says, I like how this part is a typical sci-fi episode of Twilight Zone. Few actors, few props, and lots of exposition.
Yeah, and a lot of desert shots at Bakersfield. But look how pretty. I don't know. Like I don't know where the fuck this is exactly.
And I just want to fucking play Breath of the Wild in this area. Just do like one of those super jumps and then just glide for a while.
Abortion for apes, says Keith Wood. Also, were there more than 50 stars on that flag?
Is that another extended universe thing, or were
No, I couldn't count to 50 that fast. Who? What? I thought Troy McClure was in this. Donnie Edwards, come on. Looks like Monument Valley to me, says Red Baron.
Someone, I forget who pointed it out in one of our comments or maybe a reply on Twitter or something, that like there should have been a musical, but Simpsons made the joke about it, and now they can't make the musical because it would be a joke.
And I love the new movie has like the soundtrack is deliberately weird. It's like I bought it on vinyl and like you can't really listen to it. It's not music.
Yeah.
Ooh. But there's two songs in the new film that are unlike the first two Apes are like this. And Woody Harrelson arrives in their lair. Like, it's so creepy. I love that.
Stop taking things so personal. I was waiting for that line in the movie, and it was just as ham-fisted as I thought it would be.
Neat practical effect there. Nice matte work. You can see some of it bleeding over the mountain.
How come the black guy's backpack doesn't have that little bump like the other ones do? Is there a reason?
Probably racism.
Yeah.
Segregation. They did a Planet of the Apes movie. They could capture that sweet Simpsons audience. I saw that, like, I've been working on a timeline video for Planet of the Apes and just keep waiting for someone to do it before me with a bigger studio. But I saw two people do, like, Nope, War of the Planet of the Apes is out. Here's an oral history of the Stop the Planet of the Apes, I Want to Get Off. Those are the two I saw talking about, like, I think Bill Oakley had seen it, but the person who wrote it, like, had never seen Planet of the Apes.
Kennedy says, will Heston be able to lead his people to the
Holy Land, let my people go.
Mr. Burns, you truly are the King of Kings.
Hipster water bottle, no thank you.
That is not.
Oh, a clean canteen, huh?
I love that line. There's no moon. In the extended fiction.
They blew it up.
They did.
They blew that up too.
Piccolo blew up the moon, says everybody. Once again, Taylor hates people.
Yeah. Well, he hates people that he can't put his dick in, I think. Is more of the... All right, both Awkward Loser and Stacy Pro say, that's no moon. What is that from? It sounds familiar.
Star Wars.
Oh.
Death Star. And there is a considerable portion of this film before the apes ever appear. It's true, and I hope no one's bored by that.
Yeah.
But it's
it's
to drive home that they're on another planet. Because this is the most otherworldly this location will ever look. Planet of the Gapes is what Heston wants to be.
Yeah.
Awkward Loser.
I will say, it's a testament to Charlton Heston that he can carry this, like, beginning part. Because the other two guys are, like... Never remember anything they say, really.
You got what you wanted. How's it taste? All right, easy. Sir, maybe we should make room for more food and supplies. More cigars.
Oh, man, this is such an ADR scene. So you're saying this is a planet of apes? Tell me more. Matt J says, good thing we brought these ATMs on our backs in case we see a casino.
I know there must be something better than man. There has to be.
All three of backpacks are slightly different.
So yeah, I think the makeup budget was one of the highest of its time. And it's one of those, I don't know that they do that anymore, where they gave John Chambers that year an honorary Oscar because I don't know that the makeup category existed, but it's like, we need to acknowledge this in this year. And I'll admit it may not look super cool by today's standards, but I love the design of the Apes masks. I love it. I put it in a shoe like Wally.
Can we all fuck this?
Yeah. I'm gonna fuck this weed. And how is there not a monkey smoking a cigar in this movie?
Matt J. Finally, some sweet Chiba Chiba. I'm gonna smoke.
I'm gonna trip balls.
Whoo.
Concannon, we found life. Now let's kill it. Pull this plant right out of its natural environment. John Wiggles says, "Sir, I ate the plant."
I dropped it back at the Grand Canyon. Another one. Kick it to death. But if you think America doesn't have an obesity problem, this is what a man looked like in 1968.
If I combine this with a radish, I'll get extra hearts.
Mm-hmm. I like that Soapfish is noticing some nods to War of the Planet of the Apes at this point. Matt J says these Badlands look more like So-So lands. And just without like a fucking helicopter, you know how much it would have sucked to get that shot?
Jeez.
Get up there, Charlton.
They're not even at the part in the movie where they get the glider.
You're going to be real sad by the time this is over, Dave. I didn't have any idea they were planning for a space orgy. That went over my head at 8 years old.
Wait, we didn't miss that yet, did we?
No,
Okay.
but it's... it could have been a larger metaphor, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah, wouldn't it be better to have 2 and 2?
I mean, just for the inbreeding alone. But, like, they sent a communication out. I think what you need to take away from it, and I could be defending the film, they were flying light years ahead, but thought they would get back. Heston's character doesn't care. According to some of the extended fiction, look at that first shot of Other Things. Okay.
Oh, there they are. There's a Mankey. There's a Mankey.
Does anyone else find these movies horribly depressing? I do. I was having a discussion with someone on Facebook about the nature of sci-fi, and most of it in this period was depressing because most technological development was going towards atomic weapons and war shit. Look at that. So now those have new significance for more of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yeah. T-Generation X has been here.
Perhaps a little more than that now.
Shawn Michaels and Triple H have been here.
Somebody got frozen in the middle of a Thriller dance. Good thing we've moved past the scientific development, am I right, guys? Yeah, I read another depressing article about the nature of America today. At part of the initiative to defund all scientific research and not care about it will have a profoundly negative impact on the military, which is where almost all of the benefits come from our scientific research. And when you don't have a strong military, you'll have to pull back from places you're stationed overseas and do your best to guard your own perimeter. This has happened to other societies before, and we've seen it. I'm assuming these are just Mark Ape territories. A fucking tree!
Oh my god, I love this song. This is my jam.
I gave this guy $1 when I passed him on Market Street. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bleak view of the future in newer sci-fi just given our climate. Dude, I think most that's the dumb thing I like to point out, that like this is what sci-fi was. Think of Twilight Zone, think of Logan's Run. Most of it is atomic parables and like man being subjugated by another species. It took Star Wars to bring fun back. That's what Star Wars doesn't get any credit for, because it was George Lucas trying to make old serials where it was just sci-fi of adventure. No sociology. There you go. Enjoy, ladies.
Wait, why are they so excited about this, but they fell in water? Like, what's the difference?
I guess it could have been saltwater. So you mean the big science is just part of the military-industrial science and imperialism? You'd be surprised how anything the U.S. will greenlight if it can benefit the military in any way.
Feels good to get water all over my man bush.
Yeah. Don't look at the dangle between the legs, ladies. I'd like to point out, and I love this. This movie is rated G.
Wow. Ramon Sanchez says, water. Now I can finally cut my whiskey. Oh, shit. Is it one of those Bang Bros videos where they humiliate the guy at the end? They just kicked me out of the van. They said they were going to pay me to fuck this
When was the last
girl.
time you stood that close to a naked man, Dave? What's all... Don't make... Stop. Donnie Edwards says Charlton Heston has a great ass. Al Pacino style.
Nope. Those apes stole that guy's pizza.
Don't look for dongs. Don't look for dongs. Don't look for dongs. Taylor, this would have been a good spot for a space orgy.
We could have all fucked in the grotto.
So what's great / depressing / just a product of time. This was all property of the studio at Fox, meant to just be shot on. Because Planet of the Apes was for like 6 years one of their only dependable franchises. They lost a ton of money and sold it all off. But I think they also a lot of it got adopted by national parks, and they didn't.
Wait, so they own the land?
Fox owns all of this.
Wow,
that's how big they were. I mean, coming out of the movie, what do you call that? Movie heyday or whatever.
Margot Coletta says that prospective orgy had a black guy. That's progressive in the '60s.
Really was. Except that the only other black guy in the next movie is credited as Negro. Oh, my bong.
Ugh, that's a weird camera angle. Why did this movie drop to like 240p for a second there?
It's all these little endeavors.
Is this like how with the
remember,
monkey
it's the Planet of the Apes. There's like one movie out every 2 weeks, so everybody was going to see this without needing to know a lot about it. It didn't matter that much what the critics said. Don't look for peen, which is the preferred term according to Donnie Edwards. And here we have our feral humans, but they're presenting the idea that there's monsters and you're on another planet. You are on another planet. Nothing makes sense. Cats and dogs living together, total mayhem. Well, the interesting part, and someday I might want to do it. I was listening to a podcast where like Dana Gould did it. They're still this just was owned by Fox, and like clearly they didn't care to clean it up. And then it was given over to the national parks. You can still find pieces of Ape City and the set because it was huge. It was massive. You ever see the movie The Flintstones? Like that big. That biggest set was built, and it's not like you can move it anywhere. It just slowly deteriorated, and people go on hikes through these national parks and steal pieces of the Planet of the Apes set. Simpsons joke everyone will suddenly get coming up. That's the Charlton Heston most people remember. Aliens!
The smoke monster.
He's how long until Mark Wahlberg shows up? Cheese it.
So are all the humans brown-haired? No, I think I see a blonde.
The ape fruits are people. That's a different Charlton Heston movie. Look at that shit. It's that monster from Lost. What was that? A polar bear says Deciculus?
The smoke monster from Lost could manifest in many forms, including apparitions of humans and possibly polar bear.
Do they ever explain why humans are so stupid? And to that, I would say sort of. And for the first time, should see War of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
So if I haven't said this here, I know I said it on bonus time. The new Planet of the Apes trilogy. Now we get our first gorillas.
Yeah, well over 30 minutes into the movie, you finally get to see an ape.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes are loose remakes of Conquest and Battle for the Planet of the Apes. War is the only original story you've sort of seen so far, and it has the burden of trying to bridge the new Planet of the Apes in this movie, and it's to me it's the most significant thing the movies have done to add to the Apes timeline, because there's no remake involved. It's really, really special to me that I don't know. I know you saw War Day. I thought they pulled it off. You can enjoy that movie without ever having seen this or ever watching it, but if you have, there's so many things in there like that are very sweet.
Keith Wood says, Idiocracy is a prequel to this. Go away, apin'.
Ugh. No, that is never addressed in the films, but it's sort of that sci-fi premise of how much can you take away from humans before they're not human anymore. And I mean, I would say right now, the internet and electricity before our voice, we would be ruined. We would be feral in an hour. But if you blow up the whole fucking universe, you get rid of all your resources, and you can't talk anymore.
Is there an explanation in any of the extended fiction why all humans look alike? That they're all like brown-haired, beardy?
That I don't know. But I think, Dave,
I mean, it evokes like a caveman.
You're
sort of
being
look.
pretty insensitive towards cavemen.
Well, I'm saying like
just haven't spent enough time.
Everyone has like the David Cassidy long hair and a beard.
Ooh, apes a puppin'. See, lots of Simpsons references. You know what? I can't remember when I discovered these films, but there was a time when Simpsons might have been my only reference for Planet of the Apes. Frame of reference. Flaming Cocktail, it is intentional. The gorillas are soldiers, the orangutans are the leaders / intellectuals, and the chimps are the middle class.
Oh, my vocal cords.
I didn't realize the apes would have guns in this. Oh yeah.
They shot where I talk out of.
I love how red blood is in like any movie before 1989. It is so fucking like strawberry quick syrup.
Also, how is Nova the only one of that entire group that doesn't have a unibrow? Like, shouldn't there be one other fuckable human?
There are some others you just like. There is no rapport or any time really spent on other human beings. Only Heston could survive a shot in the throat.
To survive a gun, you've got to become a gun.
Simpsons spoiled this movie for me as a kid. It's Donnie Edwards. Dude, I say it all the time. I don't know of another movie that spoils itself with its VHS and DVD boxes. It was just like this blew people's minds so much. Everybody talked about it, and somebody compared it to the Luke, I am your father thing. I love that shot.
Oh shit, this is like that Guantanamo Bay picture.
No, that is not what I expected. And I love the makeup, dude. I love it so much.
Let us do an ape selfie or an apey.
Look how cool that is. It is essentially the Flintstone set.
Follow Apey on Twitter. That's April Richardson, former guest.
Do the apes ever create genetic freak show human breeds the way humans did with dogs? Asked Nick. Yes. Yes, they do.
Have you seen this new...
not in the movies. Not
Humanality video?
You can find it online and hopefully in a video I eventually finished, but the second movie was supposed to tell a story of humans and apes breeding, and there's test shots of a human-ape hybrid with a kid in makeup, and it's fucking creepy as hell. Chimpstagrams. Kim Hunter, everyone.
Wait, so do they not instantly notice that he looks different than the rest? Like he doesn't have
I think
the
Zero
dark hair
does.
and the unibrow?
A human Z, says Flaming Cocktail. And Nova is resigned to accept her fate. And, a nice little touch they add in War of the Planet of the Apes. It's Nova.
TGB Sterling says, was this really a really expensive movie at the
Yep,
time? Because I'm
very
surprised
much.
about how it holds up.
It's
They're all like crazy sets built.
yeah, somewhere between, it wasn't $50 million, but like $30 million. The makeup really did astound people. And if you,
Wait, $30 million in $1968 or
yeah,
$30
it's
million?
somewhere between 20 and 30 million and $68.
Wow.
And I love the story I try to tell is Arthur P. Jacobs, the director who went over to France to find material for a film. He just talking to a literary agent is like, I wish I could have made King Kong so it didn't happen already. It's the best movie ever. And the dude's like, I got a monkey movie. And he said, I have a monkey book. And he said, that's good enough. I'll license it, whatever it is. And it did happen to have a similar twist. It's not exactly the same.
I like to shoot the water at the humans.
I don't think that's as funny since I know what he sounds like. Shut up!
I love the sweet rocks.
Sierra is a bleeding heart for the humans, so there's that, yeah. Is there an ape PETA? John Wheel goes in the next couple of films, there's like,
Oh shit, Bright Eyes. That's what the monk. The
Bright Eyes
ape
is the
in
name of Caesar's mother in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Stop it! That is not the dumbest monkey joke that'll occur here.
Can he not mouth words? Is he not?
Yeah, but you say that like, look at those lips. It's not the same as reading lips.
I guess. Or he could have just done da 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 da. Hey, I want to write.
It's Charlton Heston. He's insane.
Yeah.
Someone, I want to.
I must immediately resort to violence. That's my way.
Does anybody have a gun I could eat? And that is my favorite design in the entire series. The jacket and look of Dr. Zaius.
T. Sicula says, "Ooh, help me, Dr. Zaius."
There he is.
Look at my fucking neck, you idiot.
The editor says there are no worse puns than Dave's. No offense, Dave.
He's just humaning you. And Alan says, "Are we going to declare this Laser Time Ape Week to rival Shark Week? Fuck sharks."
I know. I appreciate everybody for curious or just placating me. I fucking love this film series. This movie is one of my favorite movies ever.
And Matthew J says he's doing sign language for Cradle to Balls.
Yes, gotta tickle the balls a little bit.
We had a woman that was going to do that for us, but she died.
Dr. Zaius treats human beings as an invasive species. Although I do envy someone who might have just seen envy anyone who just saw War of the Planet of the Apes and see this for the first time.
Yeah.
Say this isn't wrong, says Red Baron. I'll take it.
Can you imagine someone like a zookeeper reacting that way with an ape? Like, oh yeah, this one. We'd fuck it.
And she presents.
Are you on the pill?
Gross, she's like 18 and he's like 6,000, says Matt J. I honestly love how expressive Kim Hunter can make the makeup.
Yeah.
Because I hear there's two things you need to do. The ape makeup is not as much makeup as you would think. It's like coloring around the eyes and a big snout and a brow. But you over-enunciate to make the ape shit do that. And I thought I heard somebody say that you move opposite. But these are basically our two heroes through the next 3 films. Ew, ew, ew. I don't know. Whenever I see 2 monkeys kiss, it just grosses me out. Man, War had all kinds of
do that in the
nonsense.
privacy of their own homes,
Yeah,
man.
I'm not anti-monkey or anything. Just sick. They don't do that with pandas. Cocktail. But it's also, as we discussed on Laser Time, that there's been a irrepressible fascination with simians and apes throughout all of history. They look too much like us. They act too much like us. They have fingers and toes. It's not an issue. They're cute. It's just that like they're cute, but we connect with them somehow. Did I burp? What? Oh! Ungrateful wench! And he is Thunderdome trained.
Yeah.
Apparently went to the William Shatner School of Martial Arts with that
Why
two-handed
the fuck
punch.
were they trying to erase this shit? Was it just like, oh, we want to
I'm
hang out here
trying too. We call that the old wrist pop.
Yeah.
Really gets them every time.
And also, this is not the first time he could have spelled something out. He could have literally formed words out of the hay that he was sitting in.
Look, it's a traumatic situation, Dave.
Matt J says, "Oh shit, it's been 45 pages and Heston hasn't hit a woman."
There was a remark about hitting women in the next film that is way more bizarre than anything most people our age have ever seen. What happened, Jira? Oh, I was speaking out of turn and Cornelius hit me. I see. He was right to do it. Huh. I don't know. I love how Zaius is established. Like, this is a dumb experiment. Fuck your archaeological digs. Cover up the existence of smart humans. I forgot what happens to Heston's mate in the movie sequel. Well, everybody dies. But she's in it till the end. Yeah, she's a bigger star in the second film than she is in this one.
Again, say thank you or fucking something that...
You can't talk yet.
Mouth the word thank you.
Oof, oof. I'm assuming that weapon hurts a lot. A microbat. She does say a word in the second film, Gun Cannon D, which IMO flies in the face of the fiction a little bit.
Flamingo says...
Send nudes.
Flamingo says, the water's turned the frickin' humans gay.
Don't you hope to be in a position of power somewhere? Where
Do as I say.
Do as I say.
Do not question, Dave. Is it ever explained what happened to monkeys, such as baboons and the dick-nosed dudes? Says Adam Street. No, I have no answer to. Does she know English, or just figuring out those letters? It was not. It's not uncommon in an older sci-fi movie where someone would travel to a distant planet, and you meet an alien, and he just has an English accent, speaks perfect English.
I feel like I know they exist in the original movies though, like orangutans. You don't really see them the way that you do now in movies, like in Jungle Book and the new Planet of the Apes movies, where they have those like flat, kind of like concave faces.
Yeah, I feel like I'm mixing them up with a different monkey, one that has more of a longer melony snout rather than like Maurice in the new films, which is just like a giant flat face with tiny little eyes and nose in the middle. This movie's such a downer. It needs less apes and more japes, says Matthew J. And I love Cornelius a lot, but he bears no earmarks of eventually being the main character of the entire series. It is Roddy McDowell, ladies and gentlemen. Not as intellectually curious. I do know the extended universe.
Wait, they show him later on, right?
I do, but I don't know how far you want me to get into it for what is actually happening to Landon right now. So,
well, yeah, if they're not showing
in the second film, they introduce mutated humans with the ability to control minds. So right now, Landon is under their mind control and spying on the apes on behalf of the mutanoids we meet in the second film. He is talking, and the Milo, the Saul Midio played ape in the third film, is speaking to him right now in a different.
The blue part is land.
Get it?
Why doesn't he just fucking write this shit?
Well, Matthew J is asking why aren't the apes wearing ties with their initials on them? Doesn't make any sense.
Kennedy says, for some reason the ape makeup here reminds me of Who's in the live action Grinch movie. Yeah.
Why isn't there a galaxy of apes? Why does it have to be a Planet of the Apes? The Last Stand. You're asking the right questions.
How come apes haven't invented notebooks? Or binders?
There's books. Yeah, this is kind of reminding me of a certain other administration.
You fucking idiot.
Don't try and teach that in a school.
Heresy. exasperated expressions of Cornelius are great in this scene. Yeah, like and yeah, not to get ahead of ourselves, but McDowell will play a different ape completely differently later in the series. He's a 40-year-old man. And he eventually gets to play his own son.
You won't believe how many more bananas I'll be earning.
I just wish they put like microphones inside their masks.
Yeah.
It's really,
I'm talking through a sponge.
but Sierra, it was clearly some sort of brain drug that caused the apes to evolve. Hey, I've seen a lot of fiction about our upbringing and how man came to be. And a lot of this stuff shows somebody unwittingly accelerating the evolution of something. Ooh, ain't no one gonna see that.
It's your
paper
cousin
plane.
Marvin. Marvin Flight. You know that new
Marvin
method?
Heston.
You know that new method of travel you've been looking for? Look at this thing.
So not all the apes had to be great actors. I'm surprised no one's genitals got ripped off. Well, they're talking about it, Alex.
I love that Charlton's already at the spooning part of the relationship, despite the fact that he can't talk and communicate with this woman. I can still put it inside of her.
Can't believe I had to fuck her in front of all my friends. It's a deal. I'll give you a lot of trouble. It's weird. There's a PS1 game where you get to like recreate the sequence with a lot of unnecessary stealth. Whoosh. Here it comes. Are you ready for it? So I think we've heard no humans speak for about 30 minutes.
Yeah. Nick Tutankhamun says, like, Heston would let a little thing like what a woman has to say stop him.
Oh, what a great gag. I'm way more into this movie than I thought. I've been so quiet in the chat, says JGB Sterling. For my next boring lecture.
Whoa, it's so weird to see a kid ape.
Yeah, this is early Peter Dinklage.
Really? No. What's that mean? Oh, gee willikers.
One side, kid. Ooh, double-handed Shatner punch once again. This is some of the worst wrestling I've ever seen.
ECW. Oh, man, he just won the ape casket match.
Yabba dabba doo. Oh. It's going to happen, guys. I hope you've never seen this before and you get to see it organically.
That is the shittiest parkour I've ever seen.
It's done by a very rich man. But I love stories of Heston on the set that, like, the set was far away from civilization, and everybody in ape makeup like couldn't move or eat. They could eat only liquids. So he was like, I can go. I'll go do it. I'll go get you something. Do you need Band-Aids? I don't have to exit my makeup. Ooh.
Ooh.
Again, the sound is in this soundtrack. It's not happening in the scene. Has there never been a wrestler who uses only an ape suits as Dr.
Oh, really?
Andrew Roebuck? That's a great question. Taint shot.
Red Baron says those horses are dead. I mean, they're probably dead of natural causes, hopefully,
Woo!
not overexertion from this movie.
Hardcore. It was then our great god Fred Flintstone discovered America. A zoo where white people aren't the greatest. Nice and slow.
Oh, this is a stealth sequence of the movie.
Boom, boom. Bane was played by a wrestler, and he wore an ape suit in Batman and Robin. Technically, that counts. Very technically. Press X to blend in, says JGB Sterling.
I was gonna joke about.
Oh no! Yep, no ape safety regulations, none at all. Fuck you, stunt, says the stunt man. Here we go, people. It's about to happen. It's going to be a little slice of wonderful. You can say you saw it here in person. Hit it with the blue fruit. It's the future. I mean, another planet.
I don't think humans would do this if we saw an ape in public. Just
Like,
be like,
just think of it like a
take
dog.
a picture.
Kill him! Put a whip around his neck and drag him 40 feet. They made Planet of the Apes because you don't have to pay the apes. It's all true. Look at those bad masks. There's a lot of bad masks for people who don't have any lines.
Really?
Oh, they get worse as the series goes on. It's why they were so excited to pay three actors to play apes in the third one.
I did notice that in like the second one, where it's like anytime there's a crowd of people like sitting in a stadium or
It
something,
looks
it's
real
like,
bad, like Halloween mask.
Like,
bad.
why are their mouths always open?
Yeah.
That's not the natural way.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Fuck you! All you apes!
Sweet!
I'm nicer to stray cats in my neighborhood, says John Lucas. Who will I mansplain to? No. Matt J says, I thought that line was from Citizen Kane.
Is there a reason he named her Nova?
She had been named Nova beforehand.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
So if you've seen War, I don't think that's a very direct thing. Just a nice reference. And the second famous line. What I love, this is a famous line. I love the follow-up line, though. I'd rather have a clip of that. It's a madhouse. Look, he's reverse Hadoukening. No sex for you. Shut up. Can you ever imagine being that mad? Repeating my last two words.
Tom Kennedy says, you get to drink from the fire hose.
I'm sorry, this isn't a madhouse. This is not bad, actually.
I guess we'll just have to masturbate in front of each other.
Here's your line. Love making with no love. There go we brought along. Dana Gould's great joke that I love. Really?
You would have ruined that shit.
I bet she thought she was the botanist.
Again, bring more than one.
You could have.
Yeah.
There was what you don't understand, Dave, is that 3 years in the future there was a scarcity of vagina. The disease
Wait,
wiped
really?
it all out.
No. I'm speaking with authority here. I can't even joke now.
We figured she has 3 holes, and that's true.
All the vaginas glued together.
Red Baron says, yeah, one woman, that's not a great start from a genetic perspective. And Soapfish, I agree. So creepy. JGB Sterling says, what hair looks so weird in this movie, though? It's all that hairspray. Keith Wood says, nobody was back into free love in the 1960s, so I left. And Todd Harrison says, have you seen a monkey's vagina? I can't fap to that. Oh shit, I forgot there's like an actual trial in this. A trial of the Planet of the Apes.
Mufflers for you. Muffler for you. Man, look at that sweet part on that monkey.
Weeks?
Red Baron guns, but no binding for books. Pretty symbolic of the American priority. Law and Order Special Apes Units. Todd Harrison. Lol, Dr. Zaius is a statue of himself, says Subtish. No! That's the ancient lawgiver. That's not Zaius, but it is one of his kind. So it's really cool if you see the behind the scenes features. So like the sets have all these apes in different makeup. Like you're a chimpanzee, you're an orangutan. When they broke for lunch, everybody gravitated to their own species.
Wow.
Even though there was no reason for it. You just said, but it happened naturally, and that said either something great or terrible
Well, I'd
about
assume
all
like,
of us.
well, if you're one of these like blonde apes, you're in scenes a lot with blonde apes.
Not if you saw the background shots, dude. Like it's just a bunch of everybody.
Well, aren't the blonde apes like all the people in high positions, like judges and shit? Like, wouldn't they like? Oh, well,
No,
we
it's
got scenes
true.
together, so
But
we're
these
gonna
are,
hang out.
these are the only scenes where like there's a clear segregation between the classes of chimps.
And if you're an ape that has like an intricate costume where your mouth moves, then you know that you're a featured player in the movie, so you're going to be hanging out with them,
And there's-
right? And if you're one of those people who has like one of those fucking mouth agape
No, that's
emphasis on ape, like yeah, like okay, you're extras, so you talk with each other.
What's great, the behind the scene footage, they were only allowed to drink liquids. Had to basically suck their lunch. And but also that they also like they're in this makeup, in these clothes, but have on the most 70s hats and have to smoke through like a Hunter Thompson like aristocratic stem because smoking was everywhere.
You gotta have smokes.
You did too.
Cigarettes help me increase my cholesterol. I don't know.
My cigarette's got electrolytes.
Dr. Zaius is a Law and Order candidate, said Res Baron. No, he is the apes first. By the way, anything with your species in first, you tend to look like an asshole.
Heresy.
Whoa.
Again, rated G. And they're hearing a human talk for the first time. Bright eyes.
Shut up.
He has no rights under ape law.
Humans have invented a thing called the helicopter. Allow my penis to demonstrate.
What service would he bring to a rainbow party?
But can he sing? Says Todd Harrison.
And birds paw.
I am the vape ape. Oh my god, is there so much fucking backstory to Galen. And in the TV series that would eventually spin off after the 5th film, Roddy McDowell would play Galen, I think. It's not as revisitable. Maybe don't. Bunch of monkeys in court. How can this be more of a farce? I don't know what Gun Cannon D said, but his message is retracted.
I'm an ignorant American,
Who
damn
hit
it.
the most home runs in the Ape World Series? This person knows nothing.
It was obviously Ape Ruth, who was then
Ooh,
supplanted
shit.
by Hank Apron. Todd Harrison says, Apejection.
I rest my ape.
It's kind of stupid in that, like, if we ever came across a talking ape, we'd be like,
Put him on trial.
who wrote the Constitution,
I know.
okay?
That's what I was making the joke of.
Who played Darth Vader in the Star Wars movie? No, James
don't know?
Earl Jones was the voice.
You don't know, you stupid
He
monkey.
knows nothing of human culture.
I love the Cornelius character in this film because he does not deserve to be the hero of the next 3 films.
This is still better than Twilight.
Oh, man. I gotta check out what Matt Allen is talking about. Did anyone hear that creepy-ass audio where they made an ape's vocal cords say human words? It was the stuff of nightmares.
No. You yank that chair back in.
Phoenix Wright, ape attorney. Apejection.
Andrew Roebuck asks, I've almost bought this TV series on multiple occasions. Is it any good?
No. Well, hyper low budget. You won't see anything like this. And it's mostly self-contained stories and or the same story told over and over again. And it doesn't... It's unclear where it takes place in continuity, but it never got a proper end, so maybe it could have... I think if you were alive and loved as a kid, it might hold up for though. But the reality is, you didn't, I didn't, and no one watching did.
Not all apes, says Alex. He got a Lucky Charms tattoo. He can't hear you anymore.
He's
He
got
cut out his
Seamus's
brain.
haircut. I did like. I think Charlton Heston actually hosted a Saturday Night Live.
He did.
And they recreated this, and this was Chris Farley, I think, in that role.
Yeah, that's Chris. He's fine. Oh, brought down by a 1 pound net. It's a pretty badass haircut, though. It's like a beard hawk, says DC. Yeah, everybody does look like unfrozen caveman lawyer.
I'm just a human.
That is a real nice cage. I would love to be in that cage. Hardwood. Man, those apes are pretty good at brain surgery, says Andrew Roebuck. It's bizarre how much... Jesus. Dr. Bilo, the character who gets the apes to the third film, technically creates the instruments that operates on all of the apes. I'm not going to have this much information on just about anything else we ever talk about. I keep expecting Pauly Shore to jump out like it's Encino Man, says Deciculus.
You cut out his brain. Pray for Mojo.
Oh! Oh, I love this. Keith Wood, Dr. Zayas is a true piece of shit. He feels a lot... The only equivalent I can think of is Jeff Sessions, a man in tremendous power who is in utter denial of the world around him.
Good people don't smoke marijuana. I think it's bad. Climate change is a myth.
Oh, don't look. Don't look. It's going to get silly. Oh, no. Dave, you almost missed it. The silliest ape puns. Oh!
Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Heresy, fake chimps.
Stacey Pro says, I'm glad Professor Bobo was able to escape. Where does Walk Like a Man fit in this whole thing? The Howie Mandel ape movie. No, he was raised by wolves.
10 years
I'm sorry.
away.
Sorry.
10 years away.
I apologize.
But it's a great crossover.
Yeah.
It's the RoboCop Terminator this movie truly deserved. So subtle, but so obvious at the same time. Not to fucking get crazy with it, but like Rod Serling was like a target for a lot of his content because he was a super progressive, the original SJW, and could hide all his shit by adding an alien or an ape or
by SJW you mean
or a
Simian
mutant.
Justice Warrior.
Well, things you like, he would literally be by the FCC thrown off the fucking air by bothering to preach equality or talk about civil rights, but. You put a human being in ape society, you are allowed to talk about these things, and it can go over the head of the popcorn-eating ham and eggers and some of the other anti-intellectual people in power.
I missed my chance to say, I arrest my ape. Ape closed.
No one knows where Bonobo goes.
I love this.
Have you tried this ape? It's the good shit.
What's next? Apes playing poker? Love casuals, I guess.
We're gonna ruin all your shit, and then maybe we'll find out something.
Unless you turn state's witness.
I love this. He's revealing everything about himself. That he's done all of this shit and is actively suppressing all of this information. Why? It's so weird that he's like. Can you imagine monologuing at the first talking ape you see?
Yeah, that's right. I lobotomized that human, and I'll do it again.
I know exactly what you are, Bubbles.
Oh, my bad, Mache. That was Ham and Eggers.
Ham
with an
and
egg.
Eggers.
And I can see how that came off wrong.
You say and, it doesn't
this
work
is for
right.
patrons only. Whoops a days. This could be the end of laser time, Dave.
Oh, no.
This gets out.
Do you like our windows?
Look at my
They
wine.
look like
collection.
shit. We haven't made proper shapes out of them yet.
Yeah. This is Rod Serling's opinion of humanity. Investigate 9/11.
Benghazi!
Yes, it looks like the goddamn Flintstones house. But the Flintstones had been on the air, I think, the same year this started production.
Wait, did he
No.
steal one of Heston's stogies, or is that like a... Or
don't know.
do apes also have
I've
cigars?
never thought of that. That is totally possible.
Because you never see one before.
I mean, they stole a bunch of his shit, but like, I don't know where he was keeping his cigars on a fucking NASA flight.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume in that big steel backpack.
I mean, can you even imagine being accepted into NASA? Like,
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I'm a smoker. Please insure me.
Gotta make room for in my big metal backpack for some stogies.
Yeah, can you smoke on the shuttle? The Challenger, right? It's a smoking section.
That's not groovy!
Thank you for your rightful assertion on Lucius. I believe, yeah, once again, one of my favorite comics, Dana Gould calls that character the most dated character in the whole film.
Who?
The revolution will not be televised. Like, he just speaks in 60s revolution terms.
Groovy with it. Groovy with it, you dig?
Never trust an ape over 35. The apes live at a Disneyland dark ride. Whatever you say,
At least they
talking
kept
human.
the cigar in his mouth. Get some more of that sweet.
It does look like he was up to no good. Like, all you gotta do is leave a cigarette in someone's mouth. Ape on ape violence, it did happen, Deciculus, but the ape law is not violated.
You don't understand. I'm super horny right now.
What? There's a Flintstones house just outside of SF, Matt Allen? What?
Just touch it a little, please.
Ape shall not kill ape.
But beating one on the head is a gray area, says John Lucas. I think we're only now getting out of it. Like, you can't knock your friend out to save him.
Yeah.
Give him
Like,
CTE
if you
forever.
knock somebody out, you could possibly kill them.
We have a Flintstones house here in Newport Richie. You live in Newport Richie, D? The Stone Yard for Construction Company. Chris, which movies aren't worth watching? The first 4 are fascinating. The 5th one is boring in the most, but it's because it's the most kid-like film, but it's incredibly important to the timeline. It gets a bad reputation, but I wish I could give better context to it, but it leaves the possibility for the new apes. You wouldn't have that without the 5th. It's a deviation from the entire timeline, because the apes you can hear here and there are telling you about how their society formed. Even they're unaware of humanity and its roots. Dr. Zaius being the person with the most inkling as to what actually happened.
Last Stand 001 says, has a human ever fucked an ape in this franchise?
No. But again, it was... hopefully in the video I have going up, it'll show you that was the intention for the sequel.
I mean, Charlton Heston gets Zero super horny at the end of this.
She doesn't like it.
Really?
No. Gross, dude, gross, dude. Every time I see 2 apes kiss, man, I don't know what it is, but it just fucking grosses me out, man. Does Stogie Ape have a family? Does Stogie Ape have to pay bills? What's his boss like? These are things I want to know as an intro book. Then you have a lot of extended ape fiction you can enjoy. I mean, yeah, John Lewis is saying off-screen ape and human sex had to happen somewhere.
Yeah.
Imagine if your cat, Dave, said, "Fuck me now, big boy." You'd have to think about it twice before you said no.
Not.
Twice. 4 times.
First of all, they're spayed, so they don't have that genitalia. So
That's not true. They didn't get rid of their vagina. I'm saying your cat is hot. The Tim Burton one has it closer, where Helena Bonham Carter acts like she wants to bone Mark Wahlberg. Cornelius grew some balls, baby. How's my toupee? What the hell's my girlfriend cooking? It smells great. What up,
Ape.
Charles?
she's cooking ape.
Oh, this smells so good. Ape with garlic. But somebody pointed out, why do the apes have guns?
Yeah.
They're not human guns. They look awesome.
Not right now. We'll fuck later.
Ooh. Again, I love how that ties into War for the Planet of the Apes. An adopted crucifix. Ooh. And the whole time I was researching this Apes project I'm working on, I was listening to the soundtrack. Yeah. Ooh. It's like, it's not pleasant. Yeah. It's not pleasant to listen to this. It makes you uneasy.
Yeah. Did a silent monkey just sneak into this room?
Ooh. It's only in the newer films do monkeys make like monkey noises.
But it does make sense. It's bridging the gap between our language and theirs.
Which one? Oh.
Well, the new movies, because they do speak some English, but they're also communicating through sign language.
Dave, I gotta say,
and through ooks and ox.
Gotta say, that was one of the most fun I've ever had that you actually bothered to see the movie, and I got to talk about it with you. Did not mean to hit you with a barrage of Apes lore. I rarely remember what we talk about. I'm like, God damn it, that was fucking fun. I'm so glad we got to talk about it. That we came to the conclusion that apes can speak.
Yeah.
But don't.
They can easily just communicate.
But it's unnatural to them.
Yeah.
It's like your father using emojis.
He can do it.
He can do it.
But
he gets it.
Like, Dad, don't send me the hard eyes emoji. That's for other things.
Like, not to harp on this. Imagine how long this shot took to set up. Walk all the way around.
This reminds me of that one SNL skit where it's like Chris Farley and Tim Meadows on the opposite sides of the office, and they're just yelling at each other. It's like an empty room.
I do remember that, but it's not a live sketch, right?
No, it's a filmed one. Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember what that was. I gotta ask Chris. Better interview Shirley Phelps Roper or Trace Blue. I didn't give a fuck what Shirley Phelps Roper thought of me or said. I wish I could have pressed Trace a little more on things, and I can't because I love him more than my parents, and I deeply care about what he thinks about me. I don't like that. I wanted more answers. And off mic, if I don't think we use it anywhere. It's like we can, we give a lot of ordinary subjects. If you want to take something out, we give you that courtesy. And he's like, if I didn't know how to do this, I shouldn't do this shit for a living. I'm like, oh, Trace, you rule.
You're so cool.
Because it's forbidden. Is that a forbidden island? Fireball Island? John Wheeler, what was that a reference to? Using a Flintstone salad bowl to shave his face. Yes. This movie's too long, says Matt J. I enjoy pretty much every moment of it. And if you think that's the case, you should see the other films. Taylor was asking why it was the Forbidden Zone. I want to beat this ape up.
Wait, so apes have beards? Do they all look the same? Like,
I don't know how he would know a beard is a fad. It is that ape has 1968 logic in his head.
Andrew Roebuck says, "I've got to do my manscaping."
I don't know what Taylor says, but I like Ike. I've got to do my manscaping next, says Andrew Roebuck. Uh-oh.
Charles Andre Lavalley says, "Chris, who's your favorite ape?"
Caesar.
Yeah.
Not
old Caesar or new Caesar?
They're not the same.
Yeah.
They're two different things, but I do really like them both. Conquest is for me, it's a really fun movie. Watch the unrated version. Give me your ape lunch money, says Andrew.
Last Stand asked when we're gonna get a Monday Night Movie, Peter Jackson's King Kong. Maybe never, because it's fucking long.
I'm down. I love it.
But it's two different movies.
I don't know, Dave. We're gonna have a vote. I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, I never noticed that these are different guns.
They're great. That before fucking Han Solo's M blah 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 something. It's the first original gun that people could recognize on sight. Little nerds.
JGB Sterling said, I'd be so screwed if I needed to shave with a knife. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I don't even like... I've never done...
Straight razor stuff?
Yeah, when I go to a barber and they're like, do you want a straight razor shave? Like, hell no. Because what if I sneeze and then you cut my jugular?
I don't think they hold at an angle where that could happen.
What if I have a seizure? You never know. What if the person that's shaving me faints in the middle of shaving me and slices my neck open?
And what if there's an earthquake and your neck explodes?
I haven't thought about that. That's another reason I shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
But it's also like, when I get home, I can shave myself, and it'll be roughly the same thing.
Oh man, saw Skull Island on the plane to Korea. Best comic film I've seen. I thought it was really good. And I'm really bummed out that I didn't know that at the time we recorded. Henry was talking about how good Koba was in Dawn and Rise of the Planet of the Apes. The guy who mocaps Koba is the human actor and the mocap actor for King Kong in Skull Island.
Really? Huh. Oh yeah, that guy's been in a bunch of shit. Like he's a modern day Who's That Guy?
Yeah.
Kind of like is in a lot of big movies.
The new Apes films outside of Andy Serkis, like it's like Judy Greer. Say goodbye to these. Yeah. Like they're all like actors you would know. Steve Zahn is a new ape.
All right, Flamingo Cocktail says, "What if you land wrong going downstairs and break your ankle and fall on your head and break it open? Why even leave the house?" Well, I'm on the first floor of my apartment building, so I don't have to worry about falling downstairs. Yeah,
but you're living. You also live on a fault line, in a city that's very expensive.
And I guess I could fall down your stairs. So there you go.
One of us will eventually. So, in case we talked over it, in order to /clear Taylor and prove Zero studies correct, they went into the Forbidden Zone to the archaeological dig that Cornelius had done the year prior. That Dr. Zayas put a stop to. And I love this part. If this were a normal 60s sci-fi movie, this is an acceptable ending. Yeah. No more razor toxicity. It is dumb, isn't it? Wait, no more razor. And now Dave never comes to Chris's place again.
I mean, now that I think about it, so many stairs I could fall on.
Present your evidence.
Yeah, Koba was like in my favorite Black Mirror episode.
And in this primitive human dwelling, this person apparently worshipped this Disney person, says John Wilkes.
Oh yeah, Koba was also Dr. Doom.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Played video games with his face.
Check it out. This is... I love this. Cornelius is talking about the strata of where he found all this evidence of prior civilizations. Twenty feet down, we find one ape skeleton and a bunch of dicks out human. Coming up is the sound my Planet of the Apes vinyl set double disc. It's the sound it makes when you open it. My great-grandfather wrote something, and I'd like you not to contradict that. That is so hard canon.
He was eating this doll. It's clear, says Andrew Roebuck.
I love this. They've kept humans as pets / servants in the new movies. Vice versa in the old movies, dude.
He was a beta cook.
He was better than you. It's Taylor liking humanity again. Came in here as a disgruntled human and is going to leave the film as the last defender of humanity. What did that doll just do?
He says, Wawa, the chain
All
grocery
right.
store.
You got me. End of cover-up.
Teeth filings. Teeth fillings, sorry. Jim's life matters.
Your gun isn't groovy, man.
I think I really, really want a good Apes outfit, though. Hope.
Why didn't they just show him his feelings from the start?
Says Caleb.
Yeah, what kind of ape would you most want to cosplay as? Would it be like a Zero Cornelius? Okay.
Yeah, I
Not
like
Zaius.
I like their color
Type.
combo, but I love the design of Zaius. It's just
Yeah. If you were blonde, then it's
my
different.
favorite characters are Cornelius and Zira.
I'm dead as shit. Bury the evidence.
Was that the first ape to die in the movie?
This doll's saying what? That's referencing the meme what in the butts.
What does the human say?
Alejandro Labraca says, I never realized how awkward a fight scene is if there's no music.
Yeah.
Suck my dick, Taylor.
I'm an ape's right activist. They're not groovy, you know?
They're too heavy.
Let the ape beach party begin.
I love all this shit. This is the Millhouse of Apes.
My mom ape says I'm cool. I sleep in an ape car bed, do you?
I had a 3-banana lunch. I said I wanted this human's brain sliced in half. In half. Ow.
So
Logan's run the planet.
did Taylor not actually fuck Nova during this movie? Like, I mean, I would suggest he probably did during while they were in captivity.
What would you do, Dave?
But he so wistfully was talking about his shipmate that he probably didn't fuck Nova because he was like, "Oh, you wouldn't believe how horny I am."
You can think about it as much as you'd like.
Yeah. Does none of the extended fiction address it?
No. I mean, but like they're together for at least a year after this, so shit goes down.
Yeah. Well, that I don't know.
But I love this shit.
Past one.
He's known the whole. You've known this whole fucking time. That's a case of statutory apes. This cocktail.
Same as the first.
Dance like no one's watching. Mark Twain. And yours. Oh, I don't.
Andrew Roebuck says, "It says hashtag not my president." That's
Take your
something
shot.
You only see that in like 60s and 70s movies.
Oh, like the super zoom? It was new. Usually had to move the whole camera.
So I saw this movie a year and a half ago when you stole that shirt. That I've totally forgot that there's this fucking teenager ape in it.
Yeah.
He's not in any, is he in any other movie? Yeah.
No, Lucius.
Did they explain what happens to him?
I don't know. Because I wasn't looking out for him. I wanted to know the most about Milo.
Did he go on an ape acid trip and never recover?
I'm going to see the Grateful Ape.
Or John Wieglow says, Ape Frampton. You're the grooviest.
It's cute. Conform, seriously. There you go. Rated G and bestiality.
Oh, shit.
Well, that woke something in me. This is one of my favorite lines in the whole film.
Invented bestiality.
Their child. You hate me. What?
You hate me 'cause you ate me.
Whoa.
And he's very not groovy.
You might not like what you find.
And please confirm the goosebumps here.
I can even see
So
them
this is
among
a
your very apiary arms.
This is a satisfying ending to a movie.
Yeah.
They're right. Taylor won. Through the evidence that Zaius was trying to suppress, we now know that a smart human did exist. You're all under arrest. But it's a more optimistic ending than the book, at least. Sequel!
But not the teenies. Too groovy.
Oh my god, I have to pee so bad, but I gotta make it.
Andrew Roebuck says, humans are a bunch of liberal cucks.
Spoken like a true beta male. It's destiny.
Statue of Liberty. You know.
This movie takes place in a universe where Koopa's plan from the Mario Brothers worked, right? Yeah. I love this. So gorgeous. Still looks so great.
Oh, that poor horse.
High stepping. Look at him go.
Can we shoot this on land?
Destroy the evidence.
Ow.
Nonsense. What's the last time we did something so irrational?
I withdraw my statement. This is great. They had to construct an elaborate set here. It's a nice matte shot. One that almost all the cameramen wouldn't set foot on.
Stacey Pro says, this is where the part where the Spaceballs crash lands, right? Oh,
This is-
fuck. Even in the future, nothing works.
Remember when Don Draper took his kind to see this movie twice? They did do that, didn't they?
Now that that's 10 years old, I want to revisit
They're
it.
like 3 years off of a presidential assassination. They've. What is that, Dave? What
All
is
right,
that?
why this would have shown up on his horizon way earlier?
You can imply a lot of things about it.
Was he sleeping? Like, why is it only that he notices it when he's
look
that
how
close?
fraud it is. You can't even recognize it in a close-up. You just know what it is already.
No, you blew up the set of Ghostbusters too. It's not that bad. Damn you.
Damn you! I'm doing.
There's that NES advantage.
1,000 points of light. Ooh. I have to pee. Say the damn line. I'm right with you, Last Stand. Oh, I love it. Come on. Come on. Remember, you didn't know this. Maniacs. Love it, and that's the end of the film.
Oh, I got that saltwater in my face.
One scene. Remember, it's the 60s. Wait, you see how short these credits are. Nobody gets credited. We credit everybody up front. And it closes out with sadness, silence, and the roar of the ocean, which will eventually overtake us all. You blew it up, Tim Burton! Your version is too remembered. Remembered all tale.
Catering by In-N-Out Burger. All right, bye.
Bye.
James Whitmore.
Maurice
So I-
Evans, Dr. Zaius,
I
the
keep
new the orangutan in the new movie.
Yeah.
His name is Maurice.
I keep forgetting that
Dr. Zaius is actor,
that it's goddamn you all to hell. And I didn't
which
realize
you can't say on the radio or television.
That's why, because my main basis of knowledge is Homer saying "damn you all to hell." He doesn't say "goddamn you."
you
all
can't
to
say
hell.
goddamn.
Yeah.
I'm saying this with,
You should stop saying "goddamn."
but that's it because that's the end of the movie.
Yeah,
There are
it's
like
like,
literally
listen,
no more
where's Cruella
credits,
Jones'
and we can
speech?
cut it off here. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Yay!
We'll have more